We did a lot of work. Once we knew where we needed to focus our efforts because of the Leah, we then
Mhm.
used the Fundamental Mastery Program, that 7-step process, which was about, getting your targeted area priority, which the Leah really helped us with,
Mhm.
setting a goal and a desired outcome. And we use the 5-point rubric, if you remember, is it
Mhm.
attainable? Do you want, believe that it's worth using the resources, all of that. And then we created your goal. Then we created an action plan with committed actions and target dates. And then
Mhm.
we had a support plan because you were going to be taking new actions. So it was like if you got triggered, you'd want to go back to the old default that got you right where you were, and it wasn't going to
Right.
get you where you wanted to go. And then, of course, we redid with the Leah, the evaluation piece. And these are amazing results. And so I just want to like show you your two maps side by side so that you can see
Yeah.
what a huge difference. You can see the one that is on the left of the screen is actually the one from May 15th. That was your
Mhm.
original life inventory assessment before we even started doing any bit of work.
Mhm.
This is what allowed us to find your targeted area of priority, which we decided was your finances and your career, right?
Mhm.
Those were. And so then the one on the right is actually the map from August 26th, which is after we had met those 6 times, which is after we allowed that month of implementation phase. When we look at number 4, which was work, if you look the last time, it was number 8.
Mhm.
And so you really reprioritize that. So can you see the difference in how you started to really like bring certain things that were bothersome to you initially up
Right.
to a higher priority for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Since I thought,
So
yeah, I was like, this feels right. This feels like how I feel, and um, yeah, I mean, all of those categories where improvements have been made, and I feel more uh, satisfied and fulfilled in them. They all make sense. That's all accurate for how I feel.
okay. Now we're going
Mhm.
to look at your growth and fulfillment. And so if we look here, your life score was a 59 back in
Mhm.
May. And here you now have a life score of 74%.
Mhm.
Within what, maybe 2 months,
Right.
time we were working together, you raised your life score quite a bit. But
Yeah.
that isn't even what I find. I think that's wonderful. But what I find is when we look at the areas of fulfillment and how much growth you had in each one, that's when I'm like, he was just trying to be kind to me. So if you look at the level of fulfillment in your work, you went from 24% fulfillment to 72% fulfillment.
Mhm.
Spiritual life was 34% to 50. Social life, you had a pretty high fulfillment level there, but it went from 88 to 92. And then social contributions, which was big for you. If you remember, you're like, I just need to make a difference in the world, right?
Mhm.
Feel
Yeah.
like I'm not just doing a job, but I'm making a difference in someone's life. And you literally went from 64% to 86%,
Mhm.
which is such a huge gain.
Yeah, I did notice that in that area, I was answering the questions pretty differently. I think the rest of the smaller areas, like things like my mental health and like physical health, I probably feel similarly about those that I did from the start.
Thing. Well, let's take a look at that because your physical health you had rated at 22% level of fulfillment, but you went up, you doubled it, over doubled it. You're at
Hmm.
48% fulfillment in your physical life. Your mental emotional, 28% back in May, 68% in August. So
Hmm.
you about tripled it.
Yeah.
which is amazing. Is that surprising to you how high your levels of physical and mental and emotional health went up?
A little bit, yeah. I didn't expect those to change a whole lot. And like you said, it doesn't. Looking at them now, I can see that just making improvements in other areas of my life that I feel like were just weighing me down,
Yeah.
could unintentionally bring some other categories back up in ways that I wouldn't anticipate,
Yeah.
just kind of passively.
Yeah.
Um, so, but yeah, it's something that I didn't expect to see. So,
When we look at your financial life back in the fulfillment of it, anyway, back in May, you were at 24% and you have brought it up to 66%.
yeah.
Again, that is huge, like a tripling of your fulfillment level. So when you see this, it's like what automatically comes to mind when we go over these results and we compare them from the past to the current?
I'm pleased with what I see, it's and I'm pleased with how I feel, and I have been. Um, but yeah, I guess some of the things take me kind of by surprise. I'm kind of interested to see, or it was interesting to see, like you said, just some of the things that sort of took care of themselves and worked themselves out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I definitely there's a lot of areas where I know and I'm aware of how much better I'm doing in those certain categories of my life compared to when we started. Um, and a lot of it has to do with the stuff that we worked through, and some of it has to do with just the way life is gone and the way that the other areas of fulfillment kind of carried me in that direction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. Well said.